Get ready. Tonight, at exactly midnight, the scales of your life will turn. A subtle but powerful energetic shift is scheduled to happen. The moon, which rules your inner world, your subconscious, and your deepest feelings, will leave its integration phase and enter the portal of Libra. Libra is the sign of the great judge and the divine diplomat of the zodiac, the cosmic engineer of balance, justice, and crucial decisions. When the emotional activator, the moon, enters this sign, there is no hiding the imbalances. They emerge from the depths into the light of consciousness, demanding attention. This is why, today, on the 30th, you may feel a tension in the air, an anticipation. This is why that decision you've been avoiding is screaming in your mind. But that's not all. Observe your closest relationships. Do you feel a discomfort, an uneasy feeling? The scales of giving and receiving are tilting unfairly to one side. Observe yourself. Do you feel a hypersensitivity to injustice, an aversion to chaotic environments, a deep desire for more beauty and peace? These are not random feelings. These are your soul's sensors detecting the arrival of this new frequency. This portal, which opens at dawn, will remain active for the next 48 hours, reaching its peak on July 1st. Most people will wake up tomorrow already within the new energy, feeling anxious and undecided, and will react from a place of chaos. But you, by watching this video, have the chance to prepare, to enter this portal consciously and strategically. This video is your final briefing before the mission. It is not a to-do list. It is a strategic training for the diplomat of your soul. We will give you the tools to use the energy of tonight and the next 2 days to be the judge and not the defendant of your own destiny, so that you may leave this portal with a verdict of victory and not a sentence of regret. The promise of a verdict has been made, but before you take your place as the judge, you need to read the case file. You need to understand with surgical precision the evidence that the portal of Libra is bringing to light in your energetic field. If you feel like you're on a tightrope, about to lose your balance, it is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that your soul is responding to the activation of this portal, which is showing you without filters all the areas of your life where the scales are tilting dangerously to the wrong side. The first symptom, and the most acute at this moment, is paralyzing indecision. That choice we mentioned has suddenly become a thousand-headed monster. Every option seems to lead to an equally uncertain future. Your mind, which should be your ally, is now a battlefield. It builds perfect arguments for path A, and a minute later builds equally convincing arguments for path B. You feel trapped in a mental swamp, spending an enormous amount of energy without moving a single centimeter. Understand the hidden message here. This portal is blocking your ability to make decisions the old way, perhaps impulsively or to please others. The paralysis is a divine safety mechanism. It is the universe saying, stop. The old method is obsolete. From now on, every decision must pass through the filter of justice, truth, and genuine balance. Wait for new instructions, but the imbalance does not only manifest in your big decisions. This portal hones your perception of justice to an almost unbearable level. Did you find yourself today feeling a wave of anger or sadness over a small injustice you witnessed? Someone who was disrespectful, an inequality that became apparent. It's as if a veil has been removed, and now you see the cracks in the social and personal fabric with a painful clarity. This is hypersensitivity to injustice. It's not that you have become more sensitive, it's that your spirit, activated by the energy of Libra, can no longer tolerate what is fundamentally unfair. It is your inner moral compass being recalibrated to a higher standard, and it is beginning to reject everything that is not in alignment with this new and demanding frequency of integrity. And this leads us to Libra's most intense testing ground, relationships. The portal of Libra acts like a relentless X-ray, revealing the true bone structure of your most intimate connections. Suddenly, you can no longer ignore that uncomfortable feeling that you are the one who always gives in, who always puts in more effort, who always remembers the important dates. You remember, with a disconcerting clarity, all the times you swallowed your own needs to maintain a superficial peace. This portal is not necessarily trying to destroy your relationships. It is trying to save them by forcing a crisis of conscience. It is showing you that the love, sustained by the unequal sacrifice of one party, is not love. It is an unjust contract, and the scales of Libra demand an immediate renegotiation. Finally, this portal awakens in you a fierce desire for beauty and peace. Have you felt an almost physical aversion to your own disorder? An urgent need to clean your environment, to listen to harmonious music, to step away from noise and chaos? This is Venus, the ruler of Libra, speaking through your senses. She is showing you that it is impossible to make a balanced decision from within when your external environment is in a state of war. This desire for beauty is not escapism nor futility. It is your deepest instinct trying to create a clean and harmonious operating room so that you can perform the delicate operation of realigning your life. It is your soul telling you that beauty is not a luxury. It is a strategic tool for clarity, indecision, sensitivity to injustice, a crisis in relationships, a desire for beauty. If any of these points resonated with you, take a deep breath and understand. You are not losing control. You are receiving a divine diagnosis. The portal of Libra is simply handing you the precise map of your soul, pointing with a finger of light exactly where the work needs to be done. Accept these feelings not as problems, but as the call to your healing. Now that you understand which imbalances the portal of July 1st is revealing, let's get to the mechanics of how to correct them. The energy available to you today is not vague or abstract. It is a combination of two specific and potent astrological components. To use the power of the portal, you need to understand its two key ingredients: the phase of the moon and the sign it is traversing. First, the engine, the phase of the moon. Today, the moon is in its waxing phase. After the darkness of the new moon, where we planted our intentions, the waxing phase is the first pulse of visible light. Energetically, this is the moment in the lunar cycle for action, growth, and development. Think of the waxing phase as the engine of a car being started for the first time. It is the energy that impels, that builds, that no longer accepts stagnation. Any project or decision initiated under the waxing moon carries a natural momentum for expansion. Second, the navigation system, the sign of Libra. As we've seen, Libra is the territory of the scales, ruled by Venus. Its primary function in the zodiac is to create balance through justice, diplomacy, and harmony. Libra is the architect of bridges, the mediator who can see both sides of an issue. It is the energy that seeks the win-win solution, beauty in form and peace in interactions. It is our internal GPS for the fairest and most harmonious route. The true alchemy, the secret of this July 1st portal, happens when you unite these two components. Today, you have the engine of action, waxing moon, coupled with the GPS of justice, Libra. What does this mean in practice? It means that today is not a day for passive peace or for avoiding confrontation. On the contrary, it is a day for balanced action. It is the perfect cosmic energy to finally have that difficult conversation, but with the certainty that you will find the most diplomatic and fair words. It is the ideal moment to negotiate an agreement, as your mind is calibrated to see and propose the most equitable solution. It is the strength to establish a necessary boundary in a relationship, not with the anger of Mars, but with the unshakable clarity of Venus about what is fair for your soul. This combination is the tool the universe offers you to actively fix the imbalances the portal has revealed. The waxing moon gives you the push to act, while Libra ensures that your action does not create more chaos, but rather a lasting harmony. However, this powerful combination has a shadow, a dangerous trap into which most well-intentioned people fall, neutralizing the day's full potential. It is the pursuit of false harmony. It is the fear of conflict, which leads you to use Libra's diplomacy not to find the truth, but to hide it, to maintain a superficial peace at the cost of your own soul. In the next chapter, we will give you the practices to use the path of action and beauty, and later, we will reveal in detail how to identify and avoid this trap, ensuring that the harmony you build is real and unshakable. You now understand the energetic formula available today, July 1st, the strength of the waxing moon, combined with the balance of Libra. The question is, how to apply this formula in practice in your real life? The portal of Libra, in its wisdom, does not offer a single path, but two sacred paths for you to choose from, like the two pans of the scales. Your task is to feel which one your soul needs most at this moment. The first path, the ritual of just action. This is the path for you who feel the imbalance acutely and externally. It is for you who know that a conversation needs to happen, that a boundary needs to be drawn, that an agreement needs to be renegotiated. Here we use the engine-like energy of the waxing moon to propel action, and the clarity of Libra to ensure that this action is just and precise, not reactive and chaotic. This is not a meditation ritual, it is a mission briefing for your soul. Take a piece of paper and a pen. Before you even think about speaking to the other person, you will bring clarity to yourself. Write down the answers to the following 3 points. The objective fact. Describe the situation causing the imbalance as neutrally and factually as possible, as if it were a report. Remove judgment and emotional charge. Example, for the last 4 weeks, I have initiated contact 90% of the time. My feeling. Now, connect with your emotional body. How does this objective fact make you feel? Use the phrase, I feel. Example, I feel that my effort is not valued and I feel tired. The harmonious solution. This is the crucial point. What would be a solution that seems fair and balanced for both parties? It is not about winning, but about rebalancing. Example, the harmonious solution would be for us to talk about this. And I would like you to commit to initiating contact 50% of the time. By doing this exercise, you are no longer operating from anger or resentment. You are operating from a center of clarity and justice. You have prepared your energy, your words, and your proposal. You are ready to act. The second path, the ritual of creating beauty. This is the path for you who feel the imbalance more internally, as an anxiety, a lack of peace, or an aversion to your own environment. Or for when direct action does not yet feel like the right time. Here, we honor Venus, the goddess of love and beauty who rules Libra. The principle is, if you cannot fix the chaos in the world out there, fix your world in here. Create an oasis of order and beauty so that your soul can recalibrate in peace. This is a sensory ritual, a conscious act of beautification. The instruction is to choose a single activity and perform it with total presence. Visual beauty: choose a small corner of your home, a shelf, your nightstand, clean it completely and then reorganize it, not just to be functional, but to be beautiful to your eyes. Perhaps by adding a small plant, a crystal, or organizing books by color. Auditory beauty: put on headphones and choose a piece of music that you consider the personification of harmony. It could be classical music, nature sounds, mantras. Listen to it actively for 10 to 15 minutes, doing nothing else. Allow the vibrations to harmonize your energetic field. Sensory beauty: prepare a cup of your favorite tea. Feel the warmth of the cup, the aroma of the steam, the taste on your tongue. Drink it in silence, as an act of devotion to yourself. These are not trivial tasks. They are acts of consecration. By deliberately creating beauty, you anchor the frequency of Venus and Libra in your field, reminding your soul what harmony feels like. These are the two paths. The universe does not require you to walk both. It requires you, as the maestro of your reality, to feel which note is needed today. The note of just action to resolve a conflict, or the note of beauty to soothe the soul. Your intuition is your guide. Whichever path you choose, by practicing it, you will be actively aligning with the energy of the portal. But remember, the trap of false harmony is still lurking, which can sabotage even the best of intentions. With the tools of just action and beauty in hand, you are ready to act within the portal. But regardless of the path chosen, there is one final trap, a shadow cast by the very light of Libra that can invalidate all your effort. The time has come to expose the danger of peace at any cost. False harmony. In direct terms, false harmony is the act of using Libra's diplomacy not to find the truth, but to bury it. It is smiling when you want to cry. It is saying everything is fine when there is chaos inside you. It is the fear of conflict being masked as a spiritual virtue. Where does this fear come from? From our social programming to be agreeable, from the fear of being seen as difficult or selfish. Think of that family gathering where you swallowed your opinion so as not to spoil the mood, or that work project where you accepted more responsibilities than were fair just to avoid a tense conversation. Each of these acts is a small betrayal to yourself, a grain of sand that, when added up, buries your true will. Energetically, false harmony creates knots in your aura. Every unspoken truth, every boundary not set, becomes a blockage that impedes the flow of your life force. You feel tired and resentful because your energy is being spent to maintain a facade instead of creating your reality. With the energy of the waxing moon today propelling action, the potential for necessary confrontation is real. Most people, to avoid this discomfort, will use the sweetness of Libra as a shield, postponing the truth. They will believe they are keeping the peace, when in fact they are only watering the seeds of a resentment that will rot and explode much more destructively in the future. This is the main reason why they fail to manifest. With Libra, they ask for balance, but are not willing to rock the boat to achieve it. And this leads us to the prophecy and the final deadline the universe is giving you. Do not think you will have the whole month to ponder. The universe demands action. In just 2 days, on July 3rd, we will have the first quarter moon, also in Libra. Let's delve into the celestial mechanics. The first quarter phase is not a bad crisis. It is a dynamic turning point. It is the first test of strength in the lunar cycle. It's like a relay race. The clarity you seek in Libra, the first runner, needs to pass the baton to decisive action. The second runner, July 3rd, is that baton pass. If you hesitate, the baton drops and the momentum is lost. Therefore, the prophecy is clear and urgent. The clarity and balance you seek today and tomorrow in the portal of Libra must transform into concrete action by July 3rd. What will this test look like? It could be a sudden opportunity that requires an immediate yes or no. It could be the other person in your relationship sensing the change in you, coming to you to have the talk. It could be an email in your inbox that forces the decision you were postponing. This is where the work you did in the previous chapter becomes crucial. If you practice the ritual of just action, you will already have the script for that conversation. If you practice the ritual of creating beauty, you will have the calm and internal clarity to face the challenge without reactivity. The tools were not just for July 1st. They were your preparation for the test on July 3rd. The decision you are now weighing on the scales of Libra will need to leave the realm of ideas and become a real step in the world. If you avoid the decision, if you fall into false harmony, the crisis of the first quarter moon may manifest as an external conflict that will force your hand in a much more uncomfortable way. You have 48 hours. Use the portal to find balance, and then prepare to act. The portal is open, the tools are in your hands, the final deadline has been revealed. Now, the only variable in this cosmic equation is your choice. By watching this video, you have ceased to be a passive spectator, a leaf in the wind of indecision. You have received the knowledge to become the maestro of your own reality, the architect of your balance. You now understand that true harmony is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to find the point of balance in the midst of them. Use the energy of this portal to weigh the options, to find the just solution on the scales of Libra. Immerse yourself in the path of action to find courage, or in the path of beauty to find peace. Listen to your intuition, but do not forget the prophecy. Clarity without action evaporates into thin air. The first quarter moon on July 3rd is your call to the stage. It is the moment to transform the balance you have found into a courageous and concrete step in the world. May your internal scales find their center. May your decision be clear and your action just. May you not seek the false peace that comes from fear, but the true harmony, the one that is forged in the courage of balancing truth with love. The maestro has raised the baton. The orchestra of your destiny awaits your command. If this guide resonated with you, show your support by liking this video. To seal your intention to act with clarity, comment below with the word balance. Share this video with someone you know is at a crossroads and needs this guidance. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next guides and revelations.